Alright, I have a video for today, and I will start with what I got from a place in London, a famous shaving place in London called Dr. Harris and Co. And this is the second time I went yesterday because I liked the place so much. I just wanted to be back there, and I'll probably go back again because first time I bought this shaving brush here. And Super Badger, handmade in England. Look at that. Beautiful. Let me zoom in. Wow. Ain't that pretty? Nothing on the bottom. The back says Dr. Harris. Established 1790. Wow. And so I got that there. I also bought an alum block. One of these things. And it came in this little bag here. I didn't realize the utility of these until I actually bought one. I'll get into this isn't the main video here, but it kind of ties into what I want to talk about, which is good quality things and sort of a fear of impermanence. So yeah, alum block, that's, you can rub it on your fingers. It makes your fingers very frictive. And yeah, you can use that to not have your fingers slide when you're trying to grab your brush. If it's all soapy, your fingers just slide, but with the alum block, it just, sticks. It's nice. And yesterday I went back again, and I actually bought what is called the Arlington Aftershave Milk. You can see here. Super nice bottle. I like this a lot, and there's a, subtle 100 milliliters text on the back. Actually, as well as the alum block, the first time I went, I also bought, I don't know why I didn't mention this, I bought a Mercur 34 Chrome C. And this has been shaving beautifully. I have some acne on my face because I've been eating too much junk food, but I'm cutting back, and this thing has been shaving really nicely since. And I just have the standard Mercur blades. Mercur. I don't know. These are working fine. I prefer feather blades, but they didn't stock them there. They didn't have any personas either, even though I'd like to try those because there's a guy on YouTube named Nick Shaves who tries them out, and he says they're super good. If he's never gonna watch this video, but he hasn't made a video in 5 years, and that's sort of sad because I still go back and watch a lot of his videos because they're just so good. He's a surgeon or in the medical industry by trade, and so his job requires of him to have very precise hands, and it's just cool watching him shave because he's very methodical about it. Anyway, Arlington Aftershave Milk, classic English fragrance for gentlemen, and this. Where does it say here? I think it says on the box. Let me get the box. Okay, yeah, let me read you the box here. This is the box. It says pretty much the same thing on the front, but it has this text on the back here. It says, the story begins just before 1790 at number 11 Street, James's Street, where Harris's apothecary set up shop. Over the next 50 years, the family established a reputation selling lavender water, classic cologne, and English flower perfumes to this fashionable quarter of London. One of the proprietors, Henry Harris, was a surgeon, while Daniel Rotley Harris, who is said to have given the present shop its name, was an early pharmaceutical chemist. Over 2 centuries, the family business in the center of men's clubland has served the gentry and the court of St. James's. In 1938, we were granted the royal warrant as chemists to Her Majesty the Queen, later known as the Queen Mother. Continuing our traditions, in 2002, Dr. Harris and Co. was granted the royal warrant as chemists to His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, and in 2012, we were granted the royal warrant as pharmacist and pharmacy supplies to Her Majesty the Queen. And I'll read you this last line here, which really I don't know, which I want to connect to this conversation. Our customers are all those who appreciate quality and distinction. Man. And when I go in there, I can feel the quality of the place. It's just, there's nothing that's low end there. A lot of the streets down London, they're markets, and they're all these discount signs, you know, £8, these red and yellow signs that they just look bad. It looks like whatever you're getting in there, it's going to be cheap Chinese crap, and it usually is. Like, as somebody who appreciates nice things, I tend to gravitate towards others who also appreciate those nice things. And I like things that last, and I like people who appreciate those lasting things that were made with care and quality. It's like there's some sort of personality in something that lasts a long time that you can't get from things that are fleeting, like Chinese sweatshop t-shirts. And so that's it for the bathroom. Yeah, shaving equipment right now, that's a Merkur 34C. I've got the alum block. I have this this Badger brush. I didn't quite get the knot size. I should have asked about that before I bought it, and it was just the standard. There were like 3 sizes. This is the middle one. It's, you know, middle of the road, as Nick Shaves would say. And before I go, this smells pretty nice. It smells fresh. How do I describe it? It's not piney, but it has like it sort of is reminiscent of that. It smells very clean, I'll say. And yeah, good scent. I'm looking forward to using that again tomorrow. So now into the main topic that I wanted to discuss in this video. Do I have my phone? No, I don't have my phone. I'm gonna get my phone. The main topic, like I just said, is impermanence and sort of like appreciating good quality things as what is it? As a consequence of fearing the impermanent. When I was a kid, where is my phone? Here it is. When I was a kid, I would play games like Zombieville USA 2. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but it was a fantastic game. And I like the guns. There was like a bunch of cool guns that you can shoot. But in this game, and like many other zombie games that I played as a child, I would take the melee weapon and I would level it up as much as I could and just slice zombies, because I was afraid of losing the bullets. I saw the count of the ammunition go down as I shot each zombie, and it made me scared to run out. So I would just run around with my katana, my fully upgraded katana, and yeah, kill the zombies that way. Even though it was more risky to get close to the zombies, I felt safer knowing that it would never run out as a weapon. And it was really like disheartening. It was sort of frightful, actually. Being a kid and hearing for the first time that you need to sharpen knives, and when you sharpen them, they actually lose a little bit of material each time. And something about that, I just didn't like how it made me feel. I don't know if you guys relate to this, but yeah, just the impermanence of everything. It made me generalize that to everything. It was like everything lasted for a finite amount of time, including me, and that was such a scary thought to me as a kid, and I couldn't escape from it. I just tried to distract myself. So, with that being said, how do I segue to another thing? I don't have anything to segue to. I go out of my way to find good quality things, like that Merkur 34C, stuff that is of quality, that will last a long time, maybe even a lifetime. You know, the things that I buy, I make sure that if it's something I'm going to use regularly, it'll last me for till the end of my life. Maybe I could pass it down to my kids. Maybe my kids can pass it down to their kids. You know, that type of thing. And that's just something you get out of appreciating things of good quality. It's a lasting, sort of, you develop a relationship with these things, and it becomes a part of your character. You're not supposed to really associate yourself or define yourself by the things that are around you, the physical objects, but you can't deny that there's a part of quality things that just sticks with you, and it's not the things themselves, I don't think, that you should get attached to, but it's the idea that it will last. And that sort of is baked into your personality if you're that kind of person. Maybe it's sort of comforting or reassuring in a way that they're going to last a long time or outlive me. Because in some way, I associate myself with these objects, and so some of me will, or the idea of me will live on through these things. So I appreciate nice things. That's sort of why. And everybody says now that they don't make things as they used to, and I've never heard a more true sentiment. I used to work at a thrift store, and everything I got there, everything that came in, well, not everything, but a good chunk of the things that came in were old, vintage things that had been used, abused, and they still worked. Old tools, old equipment. You know, I got a nice pocket knife from there. It's an old Uncle Henry. There's a company called Schrade, who at the time, 1980s around, when the knife was manufactured, they were manufacturing in the US. And they had since moved their production to China. And that's another thing that is disheartening to me. It's over time, as we get closer and closer to the future, as each day passes, we get closer to a future where everything is sort of transient or ephemeral, which is scary. I don't like that at all. I go out of my way to get those good quality things because of that. Yeah. So thrift stores, they used to be a good place to come in, but where I was going with that thought is the last few months before I left for this trip that I was going to the thrift store, nothing good was coming in. Absolutely nothing good of quality was coming in. It was all just like a lot of junk and not much of it. I think we're probably going into a recession in Canada because because we all know thrift stores are the greatest marker for when recessions are happening. That's a joke. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just less donations, less good stuff, and less of a reason to go into the thrift store in the first place, because there's hardly any chance that anything good will come in. Anyway, I want to put some tea on. So, yeah, my cup is in the other room. I'll be right back. I don't organize the cupboards, I just use them. This isn't my house. But I have organized some of the cupboards. This one over here. This used to be like complete chaos, but I have all the Tupperware stacked here nicely, and I have all the food stuff over here, and all the like miscellaneous stuff that nobody really uses up there. And yeah, I need to put those dishes away, so bear with me here. Everything is a mess. So what do you do when everything is impermanent? don't know, you sort of just like deal with it. It's a mental challenge that you need to overcome, and I think part of overcoming it is finding, you know, like a meaning for existing. And I've been reading that book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. It talks a lot about finding a meaning as a person living through life, as most of us are. And the struggles that one has to endure in order to find that thing that's missing. There are several ways you can find that meaning, one of which is, you know, doing things, acts. You can also make something, and you can also suffer. You can also find meaning through suffering, and that was something that Nietzsche also touched on a lot. It's like, to live is to suffer, to survive is to find meaning in the suffering, which I think I replied to one of my comments with that quote. And it's definitely true. Rather than seeing your suffering as something that is, what is it? A thing that leads to your demise, that you're going to, you know, delete yourself over. Think of it in terms of a challenge that you need to overcome and will make you a stronger person as a result of overcoming it. It's like, you can think of your suffering as the worst thing in the world, but you can also think of it as a great challenge that if you overcome it, it makes you worthy as a person. And so, yeah, that's something that I hope that when the time comes I get to employ, that sort of mode of thinking, but at the same time I'm just a kid, basically. I haven't really gone through that much suffering in my life, so I can't really say for certain whether I'd be able to endure with that mindset the sort of sufferings that exist in the real world. Yeah, impermanence, suffering, ephemerality. Is there anything else I want to talk about? It might be a short... Alright, that's already 17 minutes. Jeez. I'm going to end this video here, because it's too long. Okay. Thank you for watching. I'm going to make another video where I respond to comments, so that'll be like right after this. So thank you for watching, and if you commented on my videos, look out for that. So thank you. Goodbye.